All right, hopefully everybody had a good Thanksgiving. As far as injuries are concerned, Higbee, it was great having him back at practice this week. I mean, he has brought a spark and an energy and just being himself. He'll still be out, though, not quite ready. But, I mean, he probably is, but we're going to be smart with him. KT Levinston will be out, and then the only guy, Alaric, will be listed as questionable. Had a little foot thing. Took part in the walkthrough today. Feel good about his availability. We were just erring on the side of caution with him. I think he ended up getting his foot aggravated in the game, and it just ended up not feeling as good as we would have liked. So when I talked to you guys, didn't expect it to be an issue. And, just because he felt a little soreness in it, we wanted to be smart with him, not have any potential setbacks. So that's kind of why we've approached this week the way we did.
You do expect him to play?
I do, yes. Mm-hmm.
How is Tyler moving around?
He's looked awesome. Such a credit to his work, to Reggie and his staff. You look at the things that this guy's overcome, how mentally tough he is, physically tough. He's looked really good. He's a stud, and he has meant a lot to this football team in a variety of ways, and it's been great having him back out there.
Is it just his knee, or did he also have
He had a shoulder injury. He had a shoulder surgery as well. You look at the knee, you look at the shoulder. He is a guy that has overcome, and he just keeps plugging, Gary. And I love the guy, and I couldn't be more impressed with just watching how he handles everything. You watch him as a husband, as a father, as a leader of this team, and then just navigate, whatever comes his way with the same mindset, mentality, and the right spirit. He's a stud. He's a great example for all of us.
What do you want to see from the defense this week?
Really for this football team overall, consistency, snap in and snap out. Football's never perfect, but how many good plays can you string together? And then how quickly can we respond and grab back the momentum if we don't have a play that goes our way? How much can we play 11 as one, making sure that we're all in alignment, whether it's with our run fits, playing, good coverage, understand which tools we want to be able to activate. Want to see good team defense, want to see good team offense, good coverage units, all those types of things. But same things I'm looking for the defense will be exactly how I would answer your offensive question as well.
Sean, you answered some questions about Thomas a couple weeks
Yeah.
ago. Just a couple weeks ago,
Sure.
when he was promoted to the interim OC, and now he's promoted to interim head coach over just such a quick span of time. So specifically, what do you know about him as a person to be able to handle a sudden change of that nature?
Well, I know that he's always been a guy that's had incredible command. He's been a great competitor. He kind of demands respect from people that he's around just by the way that he carries himself. Anytime these things come up, and I think even Thomas did a great job of handling it when he got the opportunity to be the OC. He's done a great job, obviously, but it's unique in which the circumstances have come about, but he's going to attack it. I think guys will follow his lead. But in this profession, you just have such an appreciation for how challenging it is, how difficult, how volatile. And I think he's going to do a great job. I would imagine if he hasn't already done a press conference, the way that he would, in such a classy way that he would handle it. These aren't necessarily the circumstances that you wanted to occur. I know how much respect he has for Coach Eberflus, but he is a guy that, you guys have heard me talk about him. We got a chance to work together for a few years, but I got a chance to compete against him. And there's just certain people when you watch, you're like, man, they're a little different in terms of the competitiveness, the spirit, the never say die attitude. And then just his overall presence in general is impressive. Like I said, I think the good way to articulate it, he commands respect by the way he handles himself and he gives it back. And so I've always thought he was a guy that would be a head coach at some point. And we'll see, I think you guys will be impressed, not necessarily impressed. You know how good of a coach he is and good of a leader, and happy for him for the opportunity. It's unfortunate the circumstances at which you're getting that.
It is a rare, like I said, it's a sudden change
Yeah.
of such magnitude. So I guess as you were learning how to be a head coach,
Yeah, I'm still learning.
particularly the situational management that nobody really ever teaches you until you actually experience it for the first time, and having the right staff around you and knowing who to trust with certain decision
Sure.
making. What was that process like for you, and just knowing his personality, how will he potentially discern who does what?
Well, yeah, I think it's ongoing and ever evolving. But what I do know about Thomas is there's good processes and procedures in place there. He's always been a guy, when he was the assistant head coach here, that was so thoughtful about, being totally present in the role that you have, while also having an eye on, how would I do this if the opportunity arose, how would I, whether it's calling plays or how would I be a head coach and different things. And I think one of the things that we've tried to do that, we do take pride in here is you open the doors up so that you can see exactly how we want to handle it. And you're accountable for when there's mistakes on my end, but then you also say, all right, here's some things that have worked out in our favor. Here's the processes and procedures and kind of the organizational structure at which we get to these decisions. And then, the handling of game day, I think, is something that, you decide as a head coach, all right, which responsibilities do you want to have? And then, where is that threshold of making sure that you use the surrounding parts around you? And that's always evolving, but I think he'll do a great job with that.
Eric Robinson,
Couple more, guys.
Hey.
Eric Robinson, News 6 Media. Coach, you'll be facing another dynamic back this week.
Yeah.
Any special preparation?
Oh, I mean, he's, Kamara's a great player, and I mean, you look at it, he's a guy that commands a lot of attention. And very similar to the way that Saquon has impacted the game, there's a lot of versatility to the skill set. I think they do a great job utilizing him. And so he's going to be a guy that we have to be, very cognizant of the different ways that they utilize him, and he can pose problems. So a lot of respect for this guy. He's been doing it at a high clip for a long time, going back to even, when I first got here, and that was his rookie year. And it seems like he is, only getting better like a fine wine.
Sean, the Eagles strikes me that they're kind of a known quantity. You knew what you were going to have to stop and
Yep.
attack. The Saints, with the coaching turnover, and now they're
Sure.
playing better, and Taysom Hill, the way they're utilizing him, are they a little bit of a dangerous team?
Oh, they're very dangerous. Yeah, and they're very dangerous because, you look at the tape, and I think sometimes, we all, and, what we want, you talk about are what are the results, but what does the tape tell you? And what is snap in and snap out required? I think momentum's a real thing. They have good positive momentum in their favor. I think Clint Kubiak does a great job of being able to utilize some of those threats that you mentioned, whether that's Kamara, Taysom Hill. They've got they've got capable tight ends and receivers. Valdez-Scantling coming into the mix, with his speed. So they are definitely a team that we have a ton of respect for. Very dangerous. And we know that it's going to be a great challenge, especially, at their place, be a rocking atmosphere and environment, with the holidays and the momentum they have. And so that's what you love about it, but you're damn right that we know it's a great challenge.
Understand that game planning is like a constant shape-shifting process through the course of a week, but when you have a player like Matthew and you know that he's also sort of shape-shifting and studying things all through the course of the week, what's the best time to approach you on an idea that he thinks is going to work in the game?
Most people don't want to approach me on those things. They'll say it to somebody else, and then somebody else will bring it to me. But you got to have a good feel for the timing. Here's what I will say: there's a great amount of dialogue. Like, all kidding aside, most of the time I get things later. Nobody wants to talk to the head coach, but Matthew is very good because here's what I will say: we see things so similarly, and we've accumulated a good amount of experience together, and the amount of time that we spent together when we first got here. Or when he first got here, there's a foundational element of understanding of, but we've done this before, and can we tweak that? And he does come with good ideas or tweaks, and it's like, yeah, absolutely, let's do that. I think that ownership is really healthy. And then if there is a discrepancy, then ultimately we'll have a dialogue of, okay, hey, here's why or why not, and then you come to a collaboration and a decision on how we want to move forward. But he's got a bunch of impact, he's got a bunch of feedback, but usually he goes through rags to have rags tell me.
Sorry, if you don't mind. A lot of quarterbacks do have that input, and they have ideas, and they present them through various channels.
Yeah.
But with Matthew, is it a bit of a differentiator because he seems to be someone who's presenting you things that he already understands, the receivers, the skill players, the linemen are able to execute?
Oh, yeah. No, I mean, there's obviously a scheme element, but then most importantly, there's a personnel element of what accentuates our guys' skill sets. And that to me is, where there's an experience, there's an understanding of not exclusively just liking this play, but then, okay, who can bring this play to life, and what are the things that they do really well that enable that to occur. And that's where he does think like a coach in a lot of areas, and that's why we'd be really stupid and silly not to listen to him a lot. Okay? Thanks, guys.